Hi folks, and a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick and this is a bit of a Friday chat. We've had many weeks now where I've done the chat indoors. Ideally I like to do them outside. We're in March now, aren't we? So I think next month I'll be able to get out there with the camera and get into the cold and the weather and the elements and the wind on the camera and all those sort of things. But for now, we're into like the midfield and we're doing the chat indoors. I hope you understand there. Now, hope you've had a good week, stress-free. I know there might have been a few stresses for you with the conditions today, but if you've been watching the channel and the videos, hopefully they've been helping a little bit. First of all, an apology, because I always aim to try and do 2 live streams a week so we can all touch base. The aim this week was to do a ZX Spectrum one, which we did, and a Commodore 64 one on the Wednesday. Wednesday got delayed to Thursday, and then I was offered last minute some overtime at work, which I had to take to keep my head above water, because it's always a little bit tight. Then I thought I'd have to delay it to Friday to Saturday, so this week there will be just one stream, and hopefully we do the Commodore 64 stream next time. Because my hours are a bit unstable, the additional ones, it makes it hard to plan things. I did a bit of extra training at work to do an additional job, and they just throw me extra hours here and there, which I have to accept if they throw them to me. And the idea is hopefully if another job comes up within that, I can do that as well. I've got the same hours every week, and then I can plan this a little bit better. So this time, although I aim to do 2 streams, we've only done 1 stream. So apologies for that. Hopefully next week we do 2 weeks, but it might be a bit up in the air, it might be a state of flux for a few weeks while I'm waiting for this to pan out, but it's all for the greater good. Okay, so schools have been back in the UK, kids are back at school, and I've noticed a difference in the amount of rubbish I'm suddenly seeing about the place. I get the bus into work, it takes about 15 minutes if that, and I've been used to having like a bus to myself a lot of days. Occasionally there might be one or 2 people on there, but more often than not I'm the only one on, and it's nice and smooth. It's been very, very clean, no rubbish at all. Now this week I've noticed again, always there seems to be an empty Coca-Cola can rattling around the bus, so when it goes left and right, the tin rolls left and right, back to your feet, then might go to someone else and back again. And often when I get on the bus as well, there's sweet wrappers in the seat next to me. What is up with kids these days? I used to put the rubbish in my pockets, and I felt bad about litter lousing in general. But yeah, I got it in hedgerows now. There's sweet wrappers, cans of drink, empty sandwich packets, and I might be wrongly thinking it's kids, but it's a little bit suspicious that schools are back and now suddenly there's all this rubbish about the place. Am I adding 1 and 1 and getting the answer of 47, or do you think that might be the case? Anyway, and talking about the bus as well, on your cell phone, or your iPhone or Android, the older versions used to have a jack in it, where it's very easy to have a very cheap pair of headphones, plug it into the jack, and then on the bus or train or whatever you could be quite listening to your own music so no one else can get involved. It annoyed me a little bit if someone's headphones weren't the best of sound insulation. You heard a bit as well, so you heard a bit of a which was extremely annoying. But now it's gone on to another level. Now the modern day phones haven't got that jack. In order to listen to your music, you would need a set of Bluetooth headphones, a little bit more expensive, and it's got to a point where quite a few people, particularly on the bus, just don't bother. So what would happen is they've got their phone, they listen to the music without headphones on, so it might as well be sitting listening to a radio or television set. All the music echoes round the bus, and the driver doesn't tell them to shut up, and no one else tells them to shut up or keep it quiet. And it just so happens this time, sometimes I don't mind it if it's something that I like a Red Hot Chili Peppers or some groovy music. This time it was something I couldn't relate to. Now, I'm not a racist, but this kind of music, it's not something I want to be listening to after a busy day at work. It was Indian music to the sound of, how can I best describe it? It's a bit like if you was watching a Bollywood movie. In the background, I didn't want to be watching a Bollywood movie, and this went on for the whole duration of the bus trip. You think, Nick, what are you complaining for? Your bus trip is only 15 minutes. I said, yeah, okay. So it's a lesson in how to chill and ignore stuff. But you know, just get a set of Bluetooth headphones. The person just didn't care really, and it's something I don't understand. So 2 things on the bus. Although you know, it's not up there with global warming or anything. So it's rubbish on the bus, or in general. On my walk quite often there's a bit of rubbish, so we'll see if that's been cleared up when I next go back. And listening to your mobile phone as if it's a radio with no attempt at headphones. I mean, although I thought the cheap headphones plugged into the jack were annoying with the noise leaking out of it, no headphones at all is absolutely terrible. Now, how do you feel about that? Do you have other things that annoy you, small things that you should let go or should chillax about? If so, then let me know in the comment section below what it annoys you, which is only a little thing, which you blow out all proportion at that time. It's good to try and keep a bit of perspective. So what's been happening on the channel this week? Well, you might have watched one video, you might watch two videos, you might have watched none, it might be the first one you watch, or you might watch all of them. We played 6 retro games this week. The week's gone really, really fast. And my favourite 3, the others were interesting for different ways. My favourite 3 by far was Thrust on the Atari 2600, a really splendid homebrew on that system. It's a game that wasn't covered back in the day. This homebrew, I believe, was in 2000, had a few adjustments, version 1.6 in 2002, and it really plays really well. I first played this game on the ZX Spectrum. This plays a little bit like that. There's vector graphics on your ship, bit of inertia, and you have to pick up energy balls, take them off well without crashing at all. It's very advanced compared to other Atari 2600 games. This is the second one we've reviewed. The other one was around about Christmas, Santa's Reindeer Rescue, I think that one was called. So well worth a look at. Thrust, I highly recommend that game, really, really awesome. The other one was on the ZX Spectrum. It's Frantic Pengo by Gabriel Moore in 2021. It's the first homebrew we've looked at of this year, 2021, and it is pretty special. I think it's Gabriel's best game to date. I was playing it a lot longer than I thought I would. But essentially you control a creature called Pengo, and he must shove blocks, I suppose a little bit like maybe fast dizzy or fast food. You must shove blocks into lava monsters. Got a cracking soundtrack on that one, and that's well worth doing, well worth playing. Different levels of play, a great learning curve, and to destroy the lava monsters there's a little bit extra you need to do each time before sending that block in their direction. So it takes a bit of getting used to, and it's very addictive as well. Well worth tracking that down. My other favourite game this week was on the Commodore 64, a great 8-bit conversion, which is Shadow of the Beast, a game I was very familiar with on the Commodore Amiga, and that's where I first saw it, as Shadow of the Beast 2 as well. When I played the Commodore 64 version, I was really amazed at the sort of music that this thing could produce. Graphics a little bit blockier than the ZX Spectrum can produce, but that's okay because it's more than compensated by the music and the good graphics, and they made it a little bit easier than the Commodore Amiga version, i.e. you're allowed more hit points before you actually die. So it's a fantasy sort of adventure, and I had a lot of fun with that. So if you want to check out the best games this week, have a look at Thrust on the Atari 2600, Frantic Pengo on the ZX Spectrum, and Shadow of the Beast on the Commodore 64. Other games we looked at, the best graphical one I think, although it's a little bit too hard without a poke on it, was Back to the Future Part 3. The graphics on the horse at the start with Doc Brown rescuing Clara Clayton, I think, from a ravine is pretty good. It's got a Desperado type level in there as well, and a shooting gallery. That was good. Very basic Wreckage was a shooting game. We got to arrange crosshairs, a little bit flawed. And the other game we looked at was Super Seymour, which we looked at it on the Spectrum before. This is on the Commodore Amiga. It's a Bomb Jack clone. I prefer Bomb Jack on the ZX Spectrum, but this one was nice to see as well. And I believe it was a budget game round about £7.99. Okay, so I hope you liked looking at the videos this week. They're there, well, they're always there if you want to see them. And there was the ZX Spectrum live stream that's been archived in the playlist. Sorry there wasn't a second one, as I said, but hopefully we'll be able to fit that in next week when I get my proper hours, which hopefully I get more and it stabilises, then we're there. But as you can understand, it's difficult when I desperately need the money and someone says the same day, can you do a shift from, I don't know, 2 till 6 or something? I've got to say yes. Okay, so there we go. The channel is gradually building, by the way. The main aim, really, well, I've got to stabilise myself, but the main aim is to produce enough income or revenue from this, though I don't like talking about it directly, so I can do this full time and offer you more and all those sort of things, and we don't get these sort of like hiccups that happen. Okay, so what else do I want to talk about? Well, briefly, I'm a big fan of Formula 1, as you might know. My team is McLaren. Now, it's very hard to know how quick the cars are before the season starts. First race is coming up soon. It's the weekend starting the 26th of March. So the race is actually on the 28th, which will be the Sunday. Today they had testing in Bahrain, and you can't really tell a great deal who's the quickest, who's the slowest, because they're trying different strategies. They might be trying new concepts on the car, new gadgets that don't necessarily work. But for what it's worth, day one Mercedes seemed to struggle. I think Lewis Hamilton posted the 10th quickest time and Bottas the 17th, but they could well be holding back. It's all a bit of a mind game. Verstappen was quickest in the Red Bull. Don't recall seeing Perez's times there, so perhaps he didn't run. Lando Norris was second in the McLaren, but they've got 3 days of testing. This is day one. We'll see how it pans out at the end there. Okay, so thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already done so and you're liking the videos, please consider doing that. If you want to help the channel a little bit more, there's the memberships, which I'll come to in a moment. Starts from just $1.99 a month, so if you feel that you won't miss that, it will help the channel to try and fulfill that dream eventually of going back full time and I haven't got to worry about extra hours here and there. Now, anyone on the second tier and above will get a shout out, unless you don't want me to. You'll get access to the members section. You get this on the first tier as well, where you can see what videos are going up in the following week. If you want me to give you a shout out for any sites or channels or games you're working on even, or anything outside, you want me to shout that out, I can do so. So just message me on Twitter at Jenkins7Nick, or leave a message in the members section, and I'm sure I will pick that one up. So thank you. So thank you this time round. So it really is appreciated. So thank you everyone in this tricky last year and this year as well. So thank you to Jason Smith, Squidworth, Stuart Laycock, Greyhawk 2, thank you fellas, Natty Nicky and Claire Johnson, thank you, James O'Grady, John Roby and Jeffrey Searby, so thank you everyone. I wish I could lean forward and shake your hand, but one, I can't reach, and two, we're not allowed to do it. So that's the only thing that's stopping me. Thank you as well to Steve Norman. I've mentioned Steve's blog a few times. Tend to do about one blog a week. It's retroarcadia.blog. I'll put up a link as I do with all of these. It's retroarcadia.blog. His piece he's done this time is quite a long blog, quite informative. It's his life with Scooby-Doo, where he looks at everything Scooby-Doo related. The game he focuses on the ZX Spectrum. So that's well worth a look. Getting a bit of an archive now building up of various bits and bobs, so it's well worth keeping an eye on that one. So it's retroarcadia.blog. I remember when I reviewed that game on the ZX Spectrum, I really struggled with it without a poke on it, but Scooby-Doo has to rescue all members of the gang who've been kidnapped by some sort of professor. So have a look at that blog, or indeed the video as well. Oh, both, thank you. Yep, so thank you as well to Lemmy Barnett, Steve Q, thank you sir, hope you're doing well, Phil Hill, and Rossi Bossy, or on Twitter he's known as Ross Bossy. Now, Ross, as you might already know, is working on the game Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix, which I'm doing a lot of the voice work for. This week has been a very busy week for him, as every week's been busy for him, but he's done a major overhaul on the graphics, so check out his Twitter site, where he's I'll put up his website as well, but check out his Twitter feed, or mine, because I retweet a lot of his stuff. What's going to happen with that is, because he wants it to make it fruition where it's going to release on Steam, I believe the aim is in April or end of April. He's about to launch an Indiegogo campaign. A trailer will come out soon for that game, which I'm sure I'll retweet, and excitedly a playable demo as soon as he's got it how he wants to do it. And this is all paving the way for an Indiegogo campaign, which I'll shout out the link when that's going. So a playable demo and a trailer as well, and we think that might be ready by the end of next week. Although, like all these things, something technical might happen. So the aim is by the end of next week. So that's where Rossi is aiming for. Playable demo, that should be quite good, shouldn't it? Excellent. So, yeah, good luck to him. Big thanks as well to Chono Baggy. I know you get involved in a lot of the streams as well. Apologies about the Saturday one, because I know you're off on Saturday, and the aim was to do a Commodore 64 stream there. That's now not possible because I've fallen a little bit behind on the channel, so sorry about that. But Commodore 64, it will get done. It will get done, I promise you. Thank you to Jason Holmes and Andrew Gibson. Now 5 of you are on the upper tier of the channel, which helps massively, so thank you for that. Huge thanks. And they are Martin Rymel, Richard Mitten, who I know you've been able to catch a few of the streams as well, so thank you. Tom, Graham Webke, my friend from Australia, so it's tough for you to watch them as well, but I know you catch it occasionally a bit of one, so thank you. And also a huge thanks to Julie Monkton, who retweets a lot of the, does a lot of the vidcabs for the live stream as well, to try and spread awareness, and does retweets stuff. She does like the lunchtime, she plays a game at lunchtime and then links to the, I'm not making a good explanation of this. Links to the game and then puts it on Twitter. So thank you very much for that. And Twitter, no. Julie's got a new site. Another new site from Julie. This one's good for easing stress, actually. A bit of peace and calm. It's different from retro gaming, but a bit of nature. It's called onesmallgarden.weebly.com. That's onesmallgarden.weebly.com. Now, I've got a few things I can say about this because I run out of pen space. He's got his pin number wrong. that's a good start. Right, here we go. What have we got to say about that? Because Julie put it better than I would be able to put it. Okay, so the site was made in 2016, so it's been around a while. She shares a small little patch of Somerset, its wildlife, easy stress as well, calming to look at, which can't be a bad thing. Showing all the wildlife around. It's a small urban garden there. She's made with minimum financial input. And there's links to garden photo of the day and videos as well, so that's good, isn't it, if you can see it moving around there. Let's go back to Rozzy, because he might have mentioned something as well, in case I missed anything out with Super 3D Pixel Racing. No, pretty much said that all. And he wishes me a great day. Well, I have a great day to you as well. A great day to you as well. So thank you for watching the channel. A couple of ZX Spectrum games be going up tomorrow. Members will know already what those videos are. And there's a couple of videos going up on the Sunday as well. So take good care of yourself. Have a smashing weekend. I'm at work both days. Hopefully you're not. Until next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.